In this month's episode, we are discussing what is your favorite instrument shop and why. And we also have a few other questions connected to instruments and luthiers and, well, basically instrument shop questions. Here we go.
Hey there, music makers. I'm Hayes Griffin.
I'm Magnus Sedlund.
And welcome to the Mandolin Secrets Podcast, a show where we take a deeper look at what's happening in the world of mandolin secrets. Each episode will tackle our questions of the week, unpack the latest mandolin secrets lessons, and answer your questions about mandolin guitar and all things music. In this month's episode, we'll be discussing what is the best low-cost or budget instrument you've played, what is your favorite instrument shop and why, do you perform any mandolin maintenance or repair yourself, or do you take it to a luthier? And Magnus has a cool new lick to show us from Adam Steffey. Before we dive into this week's discussion, though, be sure to head to mandolinsecrets.com/podcast to sign up for reminders about our upcoming episodes, and just search Mandolin Secrets Podcast on your favorite podcast platform and subscribe to get updates when we release a new episode.
Yeah, and I think it's not always that we have this specific theme for our podcast episode, but this time really nailed it. Genius by accident, maybe I would say. But so, and I'm actually the way that I see those questions being connected. So, well, we already said, like, what is your favorite instrument shop and why? There's a few elements that has to be part of our favorite instrument shop. And that's almost how it's connected in the other two questions. But so if we're not like starting in that end, but instead like showing like this, do you perform any mandolin maintenance and repair yourself, or take it to a luthier? How do you approach this, Hayes?
Yeah, for years I just took it to a luthier. There were a couple instrument shops around town, which we'll get to later, that had some respected luthiers, and I definitely just trusted all of my instrument repair and maintenance with those guys. And then as I got into my 20s, my best friend Jacob Hawkins, the infamous Jacob Hawkins that we talk about so much, he became a luthier himself and started to kind of, it was natural that I got curious about, you know, how to actually do these things. So he showed me how to, I think the first thing that I actually learned how to do was just a setup on a guitar. So like adjusting the nut and the saddle height on an acoustic guitar. And then I eventually moved on to fret work. So I dress and level my own frets and stuff like that now too.
I really must admit I'm quite jealous of you having a good friend like Jacob that is like a top luthier like that, like just around the corner, that help you out and teach you how to do all this stuff. That's really cool.
Yeah, it is. I feel very lucky to have that. And
also for listeners here, at the time when I was visiting Hayes, like 1.5 years ago, I brought a mandolin from here to get it in the hands of Jacob so that it could help me out with it.
World-renowned luthier Jacob Hawkins, right? You know, he's got people flying all the way from Sweden just to have him set up their mandolin, you know?
Yeah, but I think it's, well, here we're kind of really touching upon a big difference from you and me. That, because around where you are, there are really good like luthiers and maintenance people, like even specialists in mandolins. They're really rare here in Sweden. There's a few that I trust that I've been but still they are like 3-hour drive from where I live. So also over the years I've learned to do some of the maintenance and repair myself, and I even, now that I'm saying it, I know there in Mandolin Secrets Academy there is a few like setup guides that I included there. It's from the most simple things to how to change strings properly, but also more like how to adjust the string height of your adjustable bridge. There is one how to adjust the truss rod if your mandolin have a truss rod. I guess the most like advanced tutorial in this category is the one where I show you how to fill up a nut groove.
That's a pretty that is an advanced kind of it's a level 2 technique, you know.
Level 2, yeah. I mean, it's not like dressing the frets like you are. That we've got a level 3, level 4 maybe, but it's still something that some of listeners can easily do it themselves, but some people may want to take it to a luthier and see them do this kind of thing. But but I guess one thing I want to add to this question is, for anyone that interesting to try it, I would just ask, it's just getting started and trying to do some of it, and you will learn more as you go, sort of.
Yeah. And it starts simple, like you're talking about with like the like adjusting the string height on the mandolin is a great place, I think, to start, right? And maybe the intonation of the mandolin, right? Like adjusting the bridge to do that. Yeah. Those are tasks that don't require you to adjust anything that you might break or screw up, right?
Exactly. And I do know a lot of listeners now thinking, but why would I even want to adjust the string height? So if you're asking that question, check out those tutorials, because I'm not only answering the question how to do it, but also why, and why you want to do it, basically.
Yeah, it's stuff you should be checking.
And why I started in this end, because I think, at least for me, like part of a really good instrument shop is there's gotta be. Thank you so much for watching this highlight video. If you want to watch the entire episode, you can do it inside Mandolin Secrets Academy. Or you can also go to like your favorite podcast platform and listen to an audio version of this podcast episode. You can also go to our website to listen to the podcast. The web address is mandolinsecrets.com/podcast. And always remember, be a music maker.